It's the Superhuman Television Show, your guide to living beyond 100 years in good health. Now, here's your host, Carl Lanore and Tony Vanetti.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic show. I think they all rock. Some are better than others, but I think today's going to be a good one, too. Superhuman Television. I am Tony Vanetti. You know me from radio and television in town. 7:90 a.m. every day at 3 p.m. And Carl is on the radio at superhumanradio.com, which is broadcast to the entire... You have listeners in every state. It's not bad.
And this today's show actually was prompted by a question that we got from a listener, and I thought, you know, it's really important to talk about this.
Okay. We've talked a lot about things that you should not be using around your house, how you eat, when to sleep, how to sleep, doing all that stuff. Today, it's a more hormone replacement, correct?
Yeah, because we did a show about hormone replacement therapy, and I mentioned bioidentical hormones. And so someone sent an email and said, hey, can you explain what bioidentical hormones are? And I thought, you know what? This is probably a topic we should do for the entire audience.
Yes,
because there's a lot of confusion out there.
Okay, because again, years ago, hormone replacement was for women and they were synthetic, correct?
Well, not synthetic. We have to be careful about this word, synthetic. Very few of the hormones out there today are synthetic, but the real problem is this. A bioidentical hormone simply means it looks exactly like the hormones you produce naturally in your body. So what the real problem that was discovered in the Women's Health Initiative, which they had to cancel the trial because so many women were getting blood clots, heart disease, cancers, and so on, that they had to stop the Women's Health Initiative short, was because of the type of hormones that they were using, and we're going to talk about that here in a couple seconds.
Okay.
The Women's Health Initiative was done at a time where doctors were prescribing Premarin and Prempro as the primary alternatives for hormone replacement. Premarin and Prempro are conjugated equine hormones. And it's important to make this distinction. So see, they're not synthesized.
Okay.
They're collected from the urine of pregnant mares. And then those hormones are isolated out.
Horse urine.
Yes, horse urine. And then they're methylated to withstand first pass liver degradation. So these hormones, and this is where they get Premarin and Prempro from, by the way. For those of you who
are taking picture.
It's not very pretty, is it? Not pretty at all. So they're collecting the urine from horses, and they're using that to create these pharmaceutical drugs.
Okay.
And quite frankly, it's not a good proposition. The other problem with these drugs was that they were methylated, and methylated drugs change the landscape of the liver, and we're going to get even deeper into that in a later segment. But what I want you to know, first of all, and this next graphic is really going to illustrate it for you, human estrogen versus equine estrogen. Premarin contains horse estrogen, which is estrone, equilin, and equilinin. Humans produce estrone, estradiol, estriol, and estrosterol when they're pregnant.
Okay.
So do you see the difference here? The estrogen that horses produce is not the same estrogen that humans produce. So why would a drug company use that?
Not even found in humans, yes.
And you know why they use it? Because they couldn't patent the bioidentical hormones because they're identical to something that's in your body already. So they had to go outside of the human genome and find estrogen somewhere else and take it through this process and say, well, we're going to patent this process of collecting horse urine, isolating the estrogens from it, then methylating it, putting it in a pill and selling it to people so we can charge thousands of dollars for it.
There are so many times on this show that we have this who's the business owner in The Simpsons? Who is that guy?
I can't think of his name, but I know you're talking about.
Who's
right.
that guy? Now somebody needs to tell me who it is, but he's sitting there in his hands.
Yeah.
And you know what? To tell you the truth, there are a lot of those guys out there that are going like this and going, well, it's not healthy for the people. No, but we can't patent the healthy stuff.
Right.
We need to be able to patent it and sell it. You know, it is amazing what these companies can get away with.
We're finding out the name. Monty?
No, is it? No.
Mr. Monty?
No, the guy. Huh?
Mr.
Burns. Mr. Burns. Like
Thank
there's
you, thank
Mr.
you.
Burns in there, and he's thinking these things up.
The other problem with these particular types of hormones is that they're methylated, and what happens is the The liver is designed to flush out excess hormones. So when you take a pill, it passes through the liver. 95% of it comes out of the body in the urine. 5% of it goes on. And the drug manufacturers thought, gee, that's a waste of 95%. How can we keep more of it in circulation? So they do this thing called methylation, which is what they also do to things like methylprednisone. And that's why you can only take it for 10 days at a time. And they also do it with birth control pills. And that's why birth control pills carry a risk of blood clot, ovarian cancers, and so on. The methylation process keeps the liver from breaking the hormones down and flushing them out, and as a result, it puts a great deal of stress on the liver. The stress on the liver increases what's known as thrombotic index, which is the rate of blood clotting. It increases the bad cholesterol levels, which damages the heart, and it also increases inflammation, which leads to cancers.
Everything.
So it's not the hormones that cause the problem. It's the fact that they're using horse hormones, and on top of that, they're methylating it to keep more of it in your bloodstream.
Okay, we are all for hormone replacement. Okay,
yes.
We were all for it. We think it's an absolute fantastic option to do, and you should do it if you're capable. But if you look at your doctor, again, go to your doctor and ask whatever he gives you, where is this made from? Where is this come from? If your doctor cannot tell you what's in how it's made and how it's manufactured,
right,
you're going to the wrong doctor.
Right.
The doctor needs to be able to have an answer for you. I will tell you, I love doctors. I love my doctor in J-Town. J-Town practice, fantastic doctor. But when you walk out of their office and you see those girls, the really pretty girls standing around in the office,
selling something.
They are selling something to your doctor, okay? Back after this, identical hormones versus the other type, okay? That's what we're talking about today on Superhuman Television on WBNA.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
You can lose weight and body fat even without strict diets or exercise with the new H-Force time-release fat-burning weight loss patch. That's right, it's an 8-hour time-release transdermal patch. Diet pills are destroyed by the powerful digestive acids in your stomach. The H-Force patch delivers 9 powerful fat burners, including Garcina, and 7 keto DHEA directly into the bloodstream. Just apply the patch before you go to sleep and take it off in the morning. Go to hforcefatloss.com or call 305-788-8604. Mention you saw it on Superhuman Television and get a second month supply absolutely free.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Labs liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
We've had a hormone replacement show.
That's right.
This is to piggyback off that and exactly where some of this hormones comes from, identical, bioidentical, and all that. At the end of the show, please stick around. I have a picture of my
breakfast table.
My breakfast table. Okay?
We're going to critique it.
I was like sitting at breakfast and I was like, you know what? For the show, I just went and Jackie was like, what are you doing? I went click and I took a picture of our kitchen table, and Carl and I are going to discuss what's on the breakfast table and whether I did good or not.
What we want to talk about right now is we want to talk about alternatives to some of these pharmaceutical hormones that doctors are traditionally pushing. And these are called bioidentical hormones. And bioidentical hormones typically come from natural sources. They're liberated from natural sources like plants and so on. And then they are put into a delivery system. Delivery systems for bioidentical hormones are typically topical.
Like a
which
cream.
Means a cream, patches, which is like the nicotine patch,
right.
A pellet, which is a long-term version of a topical.
Well, it's about the size of a rice, piece of rice, and it melts in your
this is an important distinction. There are oral bioidentical hormones. The difference is they're just not methylated. That's it. They're the pure form of estrogen, testosterone, or progesterone. They're not from horses. They're liberated from these same plant sources that we're talking about that they come from, and they're not methylated, but you can still take a pill that is a bioidentical hormone. And then, of course, there's injectable hormones as well that doctors will prescribe from time to time for their patients. Now, the delivery system that we talked about here, except for the oral, does not go through the liver at all. when you take an oral bioidentical hormone, it does pass through the liver, and 95% of it is destroyed like the liver is supposed to do.
Okay.
So your doctor will give you a prescribed amount that will render the target blood levels that they want, knowing that a majority of this hormone will not be delivered. They will not challenge the liver.
Okay, so don't do that? Is that what you're saying?
No,
don't
yes,
take
do
it
that.
orally?
The orals that are not methylated are safe.
Okay, and I get my injections. Those are fine, right? Yeah?
Yes.
I get
injections as well.
Right.
But there are pellets. Now, there are lots of upsides and downsides, and this is the thing that we need to talk about.
Oh, by the way, time out about the women and postmenopausal.
Well, we'll talk. Let's hit that at the end.
Got it. Okay.
So, your hormones have a natural rhythm that starts at night when you go to sleep, and in the morning when you wake up, and the body pulses different hormones at different times. So, for that reason, I like, and these are my personal topical delivery. I like the best because it enters the bloodstream quickly, it peaks, and then it subsides over a short period of time, very much like the natural production in your body. And orals do the same thing when they're not methylated. When orals are bioidentical orals, they're not methylated, they hit the bloodstream quickly, they produce a peak, and they subside over a short period of time.
Right.
So my choices for bioidentical hormone delivery for women is topical or orals. I don't necessarily like the patches because they have a sustained delivery, so they deliver the same amount throughout the whole period of time. And for that reason, I'm not crazy for women about the pellet because it peaks and stays up there for 2 months at a time before it starts to drop down. And this is not natural for the body.
Okay.
So unless you are driven by convenience and you say, no, I have to get the pellet because I don't want to be bothered putting this stuff on in the morning, my suggestions would be either topical, which are creams or gels, or orals that are not methylated and use bioidentical source hormones.
We are all for hormone replacement. I mean, it's absolutely the best option if you can afford it and or you are of age, okay? Sometimes insurance covers it, sometimes it doesn't. That's a big question for a lot of people.
Well, bioidenticals are always so much cheaper than these pharmaceutical drugs we talked about at the beginning of the show. There are some women out there that are paying $6 a week for their bioidentical hormones.
Yep. So again,
now, who cares about insurance at that point?
Depending on what your cost is, okay? So
and one other thing that Tony did want to say earlier.
Yes, women postmenopausal.
Okay, so we did this in the menopause show and the HRT show, but it's worth saying again. If you have already gone through menopause and it's been a year since you've had a period, you're no longer a candidate for HRT. If you are interested in HRT, the time to start researching it is when you're perimenopausal.
When you start the symptoms of menopause, you need to research it because you can actually push menopause off.
And push aging off.
Okay, aging and menopause, yes.
But the research shows that once you've gone completely through menopause and you've stopped having periods entirely and it's a year or two up the road from the last period that you've had, getting on hormones at that time could actually be bad for you, not beneficial.
Now, guys, we could take it if we're 98 years old.
That's right. That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth.
The unfair trade. Sorry, ladies.
We can get on at any time.
Men and women. So think about it, okay?
The bottom line of this show is this. You must, and Tony pointed this out earlier, you've got to ask questions.
Yep. Don't
go into your doctor and just say, hey, doc, what do you think? And the doctor tells you, ask questions. You should always have follow-up questions. If a doctor says, I want to put you on this, say why. Is it safe? Are there any negative side effects that you can speak of? Are there any alternatives to this? You have to start asking questions. I don't care if your doctor looks like he's rushed because he's complaining that the insurance company is only giving him $35 to sit with you. That's not your problem. That's between him and the insurance company. You deserve answers to the questions, so show up with questions.
Well, and the doctor has got to be interested in what you're interested in. And if the doctor is not, that's okay with him. That's your problem. That's on you. You have to look at your doctor, and if you start asking questions and he goes, I got to look that up. No, I mean, he's got to, and he gets back to you, that's fine. But you've got to find a doctor that's in tune with what you want to accomplish. All right? And if he doesn't know where these hormones are come from or what they do or how they're produced, then you've got a problem. He's got to do his homework. Give him a warning shot and say, look, I need to know. And again, I'm not making this up. When you leave your little doctor's office, you've been sick and you're Z-packing it and whatever, and you're getting out, and you see those little pretty girls with the luncheon trays and all that, yeah, you know what that is? Those girls are selling them pharmaceuticals. Just be careful of what you got going on.
It's bribery.
Superhuman Television live or right here on WBNA.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
You can lose weight and body fat even without strict diets or exercise with the new H-Force time-release fat-burning weight loss patch. That's right, it's an 8-hour time-release transdermal patch. Diet pills are destroyed by the powerful digestive acids in your stomach. The H-Force patch delivers 9 powerful fat burners, including Garcina, and 7 keto DHEA directly into the bloodstream. Just apply the patch before you go to sleep and take it off in the morning. Go to hforcefatloss.com or call 305-788-8604. Mention you saw it on Superhuman Television and get a second month supply absolutely free.
Welcome back to Superhuman Television. I'm Tony Vanetti, and he is Carl Lanore. This is a fun segment of the show. We're going to analyze my breakfast table.
And actually, we have a picture of Tony's breakfast, as he said. He put it up.
Okay, this is my lovely wife. She's opening with, you can see her fingers at the top there. Those are pistachios. So let's look.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look,
Now,
okay?
pistachios are good.
Let's look here. In front of me is, looks like a little face there, but two sausages.
Patties.
Eggs and one strip of bacon.
I love that.
And I will crush that.
Here's the interesting thing. So, right, according to today's standards, Tony is not eating healthy. He's eating high fat,
yes,
a high protein diet.
Right. But you see no carbs there. You see no bread.
The only thing I would get rid of is the orange juice. I'd rather see you eat an orange.
That's Sunny D.
That's Sunny Delight?
That's Sunny D.
Yeah, I would get rid of that entirely.
Okay, but you see how little it is? I have just a little bit.
I agree. That's fine.
It's very little. That's not even that's a half a cup of Sunny D.
But Sunny D has a lot of artificial stuff in it.
Okay, now look to the left.
They actually use flavors that are made by Ralph Lauren, Christian Dior.
Okay, that's not good because my son crushes that. All right, to the left is liquid vitamin D in front of the giant glass of, you see that cod liver oil?
Yes.
Okay.
Pound it.
I have, and see the spoon to the right of my bowl. I'm using that to deliver cod liver oil to my son and my wife.
Beautiful.
My daughter has punched me in the face 3 times, making her take the cod liver oil. My mother is from Key West, Florida. She hates fish, even though she grew up on an island, because her mother gave her cod liver oil every single day of her childhood.
And she was probably healthier.
To the right is the multivitamin, the green bottle.
Right.
All right. Now, behind the pumpkin is a bowl of strawberries. Do you see that?
Yes, very good.
A bowl of strawberries.
Very
and
good.
to the right is a tiny little cup of pistachio nuts.
Beautiful.
All right, those are good tree nuts,
All
right?
good things, yes.
Okay, now my son's plate is the Sunny D, which we're going to get rid of now, a couple strips of bacon, and he does get toast.
Okay, and he's young, and a toast isn't the worst thing in the world for him. But this is a beautiful breakfast table. This is a really good. See, the difference between your breakfast table and the average American breakfast table, and I've witnessed this myself. You go out to a restaurant, you see people order breakfast, and they get waffles, and they get toast, and they get juice, and there's no protein. At least look at that. That's probably what, 4 eggs in that scramble?
Yes.
Okay, that's 24 grams of protein right there. Each of those patties is probably 6 to 8 grams of protein. So let's round up and say 10. So you got 45 grams of 50 grams of protein in that bowl. That's fantastic.
Right, and that's good fat, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. It depends on where the sausage patties came from. If the sausage patties came from your local family farm and these were humanely raised pigs who ate a healthy diet, then it's good fat. If they came from commercial sources where they conventionally grow pigs and slaughter them and produce bacon.
Well, it was the local guy, whatever, Tennessee Pride, whatever, not Tennessee Pride, the other guy that grows it or has it locally, the one out in Shelbyville.
Okay.
I don't know if he.
I know you're talking about old folks.
Whole folks.
Old folks.
Old folks, right.
Yeah. But the bottom line is, don't be afraid of fat. Don't be afraid. Be afraid of sugar. Be afraid of starches. Be afraid of those things. Don't be afraid of fat.
And please send your pictures of your breakfast table, because we believe that's the most important meal of the day. Your breakfast table to Superhuman
Television.com.
Radio.
No. By the time you see this show, superhumantelevision.com will be up and running. There'll be a place for you to
Fantastic.
send your pictures.
Please send it to us or Tony at WQMF.com, please. Back after this, Superhuman Television on WBNA.
Superhuman Television will return after these messages.
You can lose weight and body fat even without strict diets or exercise with the new H-Force time-release fat-burning weight loss patch. That's right, it's an 8-hour time-release transdermal patch. Diet pills are destroyed by the powerful digestive acids in your stomach. The H-Force patch delivers 9 powerful fat burners, including Garcina, and 7 keto DHEA directly into the bloodstream. Just apply the patch before you go to sleep and take it off in the morning. Go to hforcefatloss.com or call 305-788-8604. Mention you saw it on Superhuman Television and get a second month supply absolutely free.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
Welcome back to Superhuman Television. I'm Tony Vanetti. He is Carl Lanore. Today's topic has been hormone replacement for women and where those hormones come from, and to be careful about where and what is in it. Again, we started the show by telling you some of the hormones are made from a horse urine, and two of the estrogens are not even found in the human body.
And then think about that. I mean, would you, if you knew your Premarin and Prempro came from horse urine, and that the forms of progesterone and estrogen in there were foreign to the human body, would you take that? Of course not. Your doctor's not going to tell you. If you're just finding this out and you're one of the people out there who's been on Premarin or Prempro for a while, don't panic. But definitely go into your doctor and have a discussion and say, look, I want to get off of Premarin and Prempro. Or if you're on Prem-Phase, which is the combination of both of them, say, I want to get off of these. I want to get on bioidentical hormones. If your doctor says anything contrary to your request, because you have every right to go in there and request that change. If your doctor says anything to discourage you or says, well, I don't prescribe those other kind of hormones, then you need to find a different doctor. And don't feel like you're insulting your doctor. If you go to a barber or a hairstylist and she butchers your hair, will you go back next time and let her do it again? Of course not. Well, you need to treat your doctor the same way as any other service person. If they're not giving you the service that you are wanting, then you need to look elsewhere.
And again, we encourage the hormone replacement, but there's a lot, the delivery system of how you get those hormones is important. And we could discuss it real quick between the pellets and the injections and the creams and the pill. What is your best recommendation to ask these to people to ask their doctors?
The best recommendation is, first of all, make sure if you're taking an oral hormone, ask your doctor if it is methylated. And we all have heard of this before. Methylprednisone is a corticosteroid that they'll give you when you're sick to reduce symptoms, and they are methylated, and that's why your doctor can only put you on it for 10 to 20 days at a time, because it's damaging to the liver. Now think about this. In that case, they restrict it to 10 to 20 days, but in the case of birth control and women's hormone replacement, they'll let you take it for decades.
Right. You've got to keep an eye on this stuff, and I want you to also think about this also, because we've talked about hormone replacement also so much on this show, and we believe in it. If you're skeptic about it, here's the thing. Do you have a daughter? Was she 13 or 14 or 15 when you said, oh, put her on the pill? Did you not think twice about putting your daughter, which is in the biggest metamorphosis of her life,
right, at that age,
and you said, put her on synthetic hormones, put her on
these methylated pills,
put her on these pills she's going to take every day? The American mindset has been so skewed,
yes,
that you didn't think twice about putting your 13, 14-year-old daughter on the pill, but now it's you and you're 50 years old, or you're 40 years old, and you're thinking, I don't know about this hormone replacement.
Well, and not only that, but the problem is that we have been programmed to not question and ultimately trust whatever our doctor tells us to do.
Yeah.
And we've heard all the stories about bad doctors out there. There are bad doctors just like there are bad mechanics, bad butchers.
But we love our
and so on.
doctors. You just got to get the right one.
You have to get the right doctor,
yes,
and that's your job to have questions for your doctor. That's how you find out if you got the right doctor. Have questions for your doctor, and if they don't answer your questions satisfactorily, then you need to think about changing doctors.
We'll say hi to Sean at Play It Again Sports. He gave me the shirt. So thank you so much. I'll see you
We see him at the gym all the time.
See you at the gym. All right, man. Superhuman Television, another great episode, man. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us today, and we'll see you again right here on WBNA. It's noon, Monday through Friday, every day. Come see us. Carl Lanore, Tony Vanetti.
Your body knows what it wants. It wants to feel stronger, work harder, act faster, and think sharper. Give your body more nutrients, more antioxidants, more protection, more of what it wants. Try Live On Lab's liposomal vitamin C today, risk-free, and give your body the nutrients to support your overall health, without jitters, without side effects. Order online at liveonlabs.com.
You can lose weight and body fat even without strict diets or exercise with the new H-Force time-release fat-burning weight loss patch. That's right, it's an 8-hour time-release transdermal patch. Diet pills are destroyed by the powerful digestive acids in your stomach. The H-Force patch delivers 9 powerful fat burners, including Garcina, and 7 keto DHEA directly into the bloodstream. Just apply the patch before you go to sleep and take it off in the morning. Go to hforcefatloss.com or call 305-788-8604. Mention you saw it on Superhuman Television and get a second month supply absolutely free.